Hold on, sorry to cut you. When you went back to him and you said, you know what, it's not hitting, did you say it loud?
Do you know what? Nah, it wasn't in the shop. So, alright, cool. So basically, I had that position is important because the pride aspect
Because
could
you
be a
take
lot.
everything off.
There would have been beef that day.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So it was sunny in it at the time. It was like late afternoon, going on early evening. So I've come back now. Gazzoni and Don P are literally sitting just outside the shop. So it's actually kind of quieted down a little bit. So they didn't actually have too many people on. So I just told him straight, like, oh yeah, boom. This wasn't hitting. I think he was more surprised that I came back because it's like
I don't give dead haircuts.
I don't give dead haircuts. So I think it was that. But to be fair, there was no static. That's probably the best reaction I think I've ever gotten. The one that I had before when I was at he gave me a dead trim and I told him, he was like, yeah, but you talk too much, man. I said, nah, brother. This ain't the case of you talking too much. This guy, bro, I could smell the ackee on his breath. You know when the hair is just breathing on top, and I'm just here smelling. I'm just like, you know what? I know sometimes with certain barbers when they get drunk, they go into like a barber's trance and they just give magical trims.
Yeah,
it was not that.
It's not for him.
It was not that.
I remember one time.
I've had some really good trims with them barbers that
Trust
drink.
me.
Yeah.
I remember one time I took my cousin to the barbershop, and I've gone to my typical barber, and he was like, I'm in a rush. And he was like, okay, I want to go to this barber. So I was like,
question.
Go ahead.
The barber that he went to, did you know he was shit?
Yo, bad guy.
You're bad vibes.
No.
I wouldn't have known as well. See,
I'm trying to avoid that part.
You know, it is.
All right, guys, wait, hold up. So we looked at the analytics, and apparently 25% of you who watch this podcast are not subscribed. Now, that doesn't make sense, because if you're watching this podcast, then you clearly like it and you clearly want more. So the best way to get more is to subscribe. And guess what? Even do another thing, subscribe. Hit that little bell button and put the notifications on. So when we post this exquisite content, right, you'll get it directly in your notifications. So subscribe right now. Thank you.
I didn't appreciate that. No. He wasn't dead. He wasn't dead. He was just, you know what it is? Certain barbers, they're good barbers, but they lack discipline. So you could tell a man, you know what, I want to get this trim and da-da-da, and they think, you know what, let me just do what I'm comfortable with. And it happens. We've all been through it, right?
Ones.
All right, cool. So he's gone to the barber, he's got the trim, and he's very particular about his look. Like his fade is usually just amazing, but he was with me that day. Older cousin too. So he's got the trim.
Did he punch you up after?
He's got the trim. He's vexed. He's paid the man, but when he's paying him, he's not even talking. He's just gone. He's walked out. The barber felt so shame. He followed him out and said, "You know what? Have some back."
Oh, swear down.
Swear to you. Swear to you. In my head, I'm thinking, yo. Jamaican barber too.
That's a Discovery Channel kind of
the thing is,
documentary.
you know what? It's interesting that you bring that up. The whole thing of Jamaica.
What? He gave him his money.
He gave him the
He
people.
followed him
I've never heard
outside
that in
the
my
shop
life.
and gave him not all of it, but some of his money back.
Yeah,
And no
never
word of a
really.
lie. No word of a lie, he gave him some money back because he walked out so vexed. I felt shame, but then when he gave him money back, I was like, all right, cool.
something. Yeah, I recovered.
He got some compensation and he got kind of like a free trim, and I'm out the dark. But yeah, he followed him out and he gave him some money. Gave him some money.
When you looked at the trim, did you think it
To
was,
me-
or was it because your cousin's standards
To
were-
me, yeah, his standards are high, like super, super high.
Can imagine.
But for me, the trim wasn't even that bad. He just was vexed, like he's not talking. Pay the man, you say, all right, safe, boss, respect, anything. None of that.
He
None
probably,
of that.
he probably
Man
asked
said
for
he said,
something in particular, innit? He probably asked for something in particular.
Yes, I'm trying to say, some
and the
barbers
guy
lack
just didn't give
discipline.
him- Yeah.
Some barbers lack discipline, and it's a shame. But yeah, it happens. It happens.
No, it's crazy what some barbers will do and the way they handle certain things. Like there's one barber again in ends, innit? Man won't speak on it too tough because that's my guy, innit?
No names.
No names, innit?
No names.
But have you ever come across them barbers? And it's kind of like what you said, where you will tell the barber what you want, or you even show man a picture of this. I want this, and he'll be like, yeah, brother, no problem, cool.
25 minutes,
Zoom into that
25 minutes,
face.
25 minutes later.
Fam.
You go there, you look at it, and I'm like, bro, and you know in your head you're kind of like, brother, what I asked you to do, And what I'm seeing in this mirror right now,
The same.
this is not the
follow
same. Why are you
instructions.
not following the assignment? Because big man, have you never seen that?
Bruv,
yeah,
it happened to me with my very last trim.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happened to
Oh.
me do you know what it is, yeah? So I'll tell you one thing, yeah. Sometimes the most frustrating thing about barbers is that when they're so good, that's why they don't follow instructions.
And it's hard to correct them because they make it work in the end.
Yeah, they feel like they know better
Trust.
than you. To the point where like you might suggest something and they're looking at you like, wow, like
Am I your mate?
Yeah.
Or they might tell you, no, you should get this.
I've had
In a
that.
different
Yes.
way. No.
I've had that.
Yes.
Don't
I had
worry,
it like
don't
that,
worry.
though.
Don't
I had
worry,
it like
it's gonna
that.
be good. It's gonna be good. Don't worry. Now, yeah. Flashbacks.
it's mad triggering. Like what you
is
just said,
funny.
yeah. I went to my bar more often than not now. What I do is I literally go onto my phone. I've pulled out the picture before I've even stepped in.
Yeah.
'Cause I know exactly what I want because the last time you didn't do it.
Yeah.
So let me bring out my phone this
So
time.
that now there's no confusion.
There's no-
as to
And
what
I'll
the
be like,
assignment
You
is.
see that one there? Yeah. Could you just
Even
give me-
enlarge it.
I just say, give me that exact same thing, the same fade,
corner, look at the
everything,
corner, look at the
whatever.
corner.
And I might even give specific instructions, and I might say, for example, like like don't use the blade on the beard, like. And sometimes I used to get a bit like not fearful, but like I used to think to myself, right, like if you sound too picky, you might come across a bit annoying.
Yeah,
But now I
they
got
wanna
to a
cut
point
you.
where it's like I'm gonna pay you money regardless. So like.
better
I
do-
should
yeah.
I should be able to
You
say
should be able to
don't
highlight
use the
what you
blade
want.
on this part, don't use the spray there today, leave the moustache. That's the main one. I always say leave the moustache, they'll still find a way to
Yeah.
go.
I don't know why they do that.
Clip it. And so it goes back to the point where I think that because they know what they think is best for you and because they're good at what they do, they just look at it like, I know you told me to do that. I feel like it's almost like a reflex. Because I'll see by the
Autopilot. It's
Yeah,
autopilot.
yeah.
A lot of them is
100.
like the
autopilot.
trim's almost done, and then I'll just see him pulling the trimmer closer to my moustache, and I'm looking at him like,
Fam, did you not
why?
hear? Did you not hear what?
Yeah.
Did you not hear it?
we
Are
agreed
you alright?
already
Are you
this
alright,
isn't
big
gonna
man?
happen. So I do think a part of it is just autopilot. Like I think
Yeah.
they just get into that habit. What about you?
I was gonna say personally, when I'm cutting hair myself, I get into that thing where I know I can give really good fades, but then when they say, for example, don't touch my moustache, at the end of the trim, like he said, I get close to the moustache and they're looking at me like, Mike, are you alright?
What you doing?
And they start doing this. They start doing this thing like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh no, you don't. Your moustache, no. Alright, cool, sorry, bro.
But I
kind of thing.
told you
That's the thing. So they're
before.
looking at me like, you mad? But then sometimes I'll be like, if you trust me, I won't take off none because they're scared of that little worm you get on top of your lip.
That French moustache.
The little that thing
Oh, yeah,
there.
we
You know what it
That's
is? You know what it is?
ratatouille.
I found out barbers love that, you know. I
Yeah.
don't understand
No,
what
they
it
do.
is. I
Take
don't know
your
what it
moustache
is.
off,
No, it's
basically.
true.
It's that one and a triangle. I don't understand.
Yeah.
I told you. I don't. Last time I told you I did like a triangle. Why are you doing a triangle again? We did not discuss shapes.
thing and this
I
cut
didn't tell
around
you I
it.
wanted any shape.
Yeah.
My moustache it goes like this and like that. So
Yeah.
literally, why
Just
are you
follow
making-
the-
I didn't-
yeah.
I didn't want no shape. I
Do
didn't
you, know,
want no
do,
shape.
do you know what I think it is? I think for them it's also a case of if everywhere else has been trimmed up, looking good, you just want there to be a certain level. I don't
Yes.
agree. I don't agree with it, but they want there to be a certain level of uniform cleanliness about your entire
All over.
facial
Yeah.
structure.
All over.
So low key, as much as I don't agree with it, I do understand sometimes why they do it. So even with my barber, sometimes I'll tell him,